All right, time for a Through the Omen Paths pick 4 draft. Still finding my way around this format, learning to navigate it. Kind of having a slow start. It sort of feels like I'm not playing green-white with some in-web shenanigans. Everything else feels kind of silly, but I keep opening cards like this, the House Grows Hungry, that lead me to try other colors and then eventually get trounced by some white decks. But let's see if we can turn that around. So this Saga kills something, and then the rest is like, you know, pretty mid, but having the option to discard a card, of course, triggers madness. So even if this is 3 mana, kill their creature, and then make them discard, and you just discard and trigger madness, then that's pretty good. Exile and graveyards can sometimes be relevant in this format. What does this thing do? When it enters, you draw a card, sacrifice it to mill 4 cards, put a creature from among them in your hand. That actually seems like reasonably decent, right? It replaces itself when you play it, and then you can search for another creature. The alternative is maybe taking this, so this is 1/2 flying haste. When you discard, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. All right, well, that pairs up pretty well with the House Grows Hungry, and maybe we end up in some sort of black-red madness, which we've got some reasonable follow-ups, right? Temple Trap is okay, albeit expensive removal spell, but 5 damage deals with a lot of things. You can also discard it to destroy an artifact. Not a ton of artifacts to destroy, but it is nice that it has a second mode. The Restless Razorkin. So spell with mana value 4 or greater. You get to exile the top card of your library and then play it until you exile another card with this creature. This doesn't have the qualifier that this creature has to remain in play, right? So if they kill it, you still get that card exiled. And I guess we'll take the String Puller as well. So a Mayhem creature when we already have 2 Mayhem enablers. And red seems to be reasonably open. Yeah, so this is what, pick 5 and 6, and there's a Wisecrack and a Shock in the pack. So yeah, red seems pretty open. There's also an Ominous Asylum. Another one of these Eerie Gravestones. I feel like we're not going to have trouble getting one of those. So I would like to have one of the Surveil lands at some point, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the 2 removal spells here in Wisecrack and Shock. It definitely seems like red is where we want to be. Black, maybe a little bit less so. Then again, this thing, Wekdu, the Midnight Hunter. So there's something else that we can get some value out of with discarding. How much of our discarding is instant speed? Just this guy, right? No, that just says whenever you discard a card. It doesn't actually allow you to discard a card. What does this thing do? I might actually take that just for some late game value. There is still this Eerie Gravestone to consider. We've seen a lot of them coming around. Yeah, so here's another one. So this thing allows us to discard. That's only at sorcery speed. This you can discard at instant speed, and you get to draw a card. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Kitten. So sort of favoring the instant speed there, right? Just because that combos better with Wekdu. And I'm not sure exactly how many instant speed cards with Madness there are, but Vinewoven Chariot, I don't know if this card is really, should be going last. I'm just going to go ahead and take the Leonin and the Treat Trolley, just in case we end up wanting to splash something. Having a Treat Trolley is not terrible. Sabulent Valet seems okay in certain decks. I don't know if this is one of them, though. What does this thing do? So this has Mayhem, right? I think I said Madness earlier. Sorry, Mayhem. So this has Mayhem. And it automatically gets equipped if it's attached from your graveyard, or if it's cast from your graveyard, rather. Timing rules still apply, right? So we can't flash this in. But we already have some Mayhem enablers, and yeah. What about this thing? So exile 2 cards from your library, choose 1, and you can play it. Or 2 target creatures get 1/0 and first strike until end of turn. So obviously the dream is to have this be a 2-for-1, right? Like set up a combat where giving 2 target creatures +1/+0 first strike allows you to 2-for-1 your opponent. And then if that's not happening, then you can just cast this to like cycle itself. I don't think that's amazing. There's a Damning Caress in this pack. We're just going to go ahead and take that too. So I think we're going to take the Stitcher's Wings. +2/+0 flying and haste is okay, but it's also another Mayhem card. So let's sort out like enablers and then cards that actually have Mayhem. So that is another Mayhem card. Wekdu is another Mayhem card. The House Grows Hungry is an enabler. This isn't an enabler, it's just whenever you discard. So we do need some more cards that allow us to discard, and obviously some more payoffs, but it's early, so we're off to a good start. I should probably not be messing around too much. Scorpion Sting is an easy take. Oh, I forgot there's another enabler. There is a Chizak in this pack, which is pretty good. That rare I don't think is terribly good. This Bog Guy's pretty good late game creature. Question is if I take that over to Skittering Kitten, and I think I do. Okay, so this format definitely seems to me to feel like you definitely want some bigger things. That is one thing that I feel like I'm kind of learning. You want some bigger things that are going to have some staying power behind them later in the game. And this thing just, you know, a 4/4 that can like kind of attack on its own as a 5/5 and then help you surveil every turn. It's pretty good. Anyway, this pack has a Knife Trick, which is another good Mayhem enabler. And then I think Prison Break's good. There's so much self-mill. And this feels like one of the few things that actually capitalizes on that. I'm sure there's more that I just haven't, you know, quite learned about yet. I am passing another Skittering Kitten there, but hopefully we'll be able to get another one. What does this thing do? Spider. I don't think we have, yeah, no critical mass of spiders. We have 3. Yeah, that is whatever. Okay, so there's another Mayhem enabler. This thing's a Mayhem enabler too, and it's a 5/4 menace, and it's another big thing. Sure. All right, so Mayhem enabler, Mayhem. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're kind of doing it, I think, right? I guess I'm gonna take that Firebrain Scheme. I don't know if we're actually gonna use it. I doubt we play 2 of those, but I also don't think we play these. Actually, oh shoot, I was gonna switch to the 2-drop just in case. Excuse me, sorry, just in case we you know, decided we needed more cheap stuff, but that's okay. We got another Skittering Kitten, and this, you know, neither of these rares are anything I'm really in the market for, but we'll just go ahead and snatch them up. I don't know if I want a third Skittering Kitten, but that's okay. So at this point, we're looking pretty good on Mayhem enablers and payoffs, which is great. Let me go ahead and make my pick here, and then we will sort through things a little bit. This is sort of a blank, right? I love this Cobra guy, right? He was the star of the last video. Definitely won us some sealed games. I don't think we can really take a double green card on the splash, though, in good conscience. So I guess we're going to take another shock. I need somebody to, like, beat me with this card, and then I'll know how good it is. I don't know about the clandestine work. I do kind of want one of those gravestones, maybe. So I think that's going to be our pick. Little, not the most amazing pack 1 by any means. I don't think we need the treat trolley in this deck. We'll keep the Stitcher's Wings. And, okay, we're probably cutting one of these dragons. Dinosaurs, sorry, not dragons. But let's see what else we got going on. So Death Flame Burst, that's definitely a good one. So another Mayhem payoff. And a removal spell in 1. And then we've got a ton of gas here, actually, that we could pick from. I wish we could have you know, traded our pick here with last pack. I think I'm going to take the Spider. You know, just being able to rummage every time you tap it is pretty good. Now, the only problem is a 2/3 for 3 doesn't really get to attack very much in this format, is kind of what I'm finding so far. So actually, I think I might take the Wekdu instead. Yeah, I wouldn't mind this, but I think a second Wekdu is better. And like I said, a 2/3 for 3 just doesn't get to attack very frequently in this format. Okay, so another Knife Trick is great. If there was a deck that wanted Arachnomania, I guess it still wouldn't be this one, because we really don't have... Well, no, the Spider's part isn't important, right? It's just that you get to copy anything that you cast with Madness, but you need to play a 5-mana enchantment. So basically take off turn 5 and then do some Madness stuff to get value out of that. I don't know about that. We're going to take Crash and the Knife Trick. Lavaborn Goblins, definitely a card that we wanted. The question is, do we take a third Wekdu or a second Prison Break? Wekdu, he is indeed a legend, and I have a history of legend ruling myself with the Wekdu, so... Yeah, okay. I think once you start getting into 3 copies of something that you can only have one in play at a time, it starts to get markedly worse, right? I don't think this Crime Lord is any good. Clandestine Work may or may not make the final cut. Probably not. We did get the Wardens back and I don't even know what this is. 4th Skittering Kitten. All right, we've got the playset of Skittering Kittens. And yeah, all right. So we've got, okay, 5 Skittering Kittens. Achievement complete. All right. That's what the fifth Skittering Kitten was worth it. I wasn't sure if I'd gotten that achievement yet or not, and it turns out I hadn't. Okay, so we are inundated with playables, right? So we've got some cuts to make here. I think it's something like 3 Skittering Kittens gets cut. You know, I could see myself playing 2. Excuse me, sorry, still getting over a little bit of a cold here. You could maybe make an argument, maybe for playing 3. I don't think so, though. We probably want to cut some non-creature spells, right? Because even, yeah, that's 15 creatures with 9 cuts left to make. This Firebrain scheme, I think, is one of them easily. Probably both of the Eerie Gravestones. This thing, that rare that I just got rid of, the Clandestine Work, probably. So we definitely keep the removal spell. So Prison Break does get better if I keep the Gravestones in, right? Because we can mill, you know, with the Gravestones and then bring things back with the Prison Break. We definitely need to cut something in this 5 land, though, and I don't think we're in the market of cutting any of our bigger creatures. So I think we get rid of one of the Prison Breaks. That's still 5 mana spells, but we have a couple things that want us to cast these 4s and 5s, the Razorkin and the Galvanized Workforce. So removal, we have Damning Caress, we have House Grows Hungry, we have Death Flame Burst, Wisecrack, just 1 Scorpion Sting, 2 Knife Tricks, and 2 Shocks. I think we can cut a Shock. I also... What 5-drop did I just click off? Accidentally clicked. Was it the... It was the Damning Caress. There we go. Yeah, I definitely didn't want to cut that. Okay, I knew I accidentally clicked something when I was going back into that spot. All right, so 2 more cuts. And like I said, we're at 15 creatures, so maybe 1 creature, 1 non-creature spell. Maybe 2 of our worst creatures, although... Oh, this Bane March Leonin. Yeah, that thing doesn't do much for us. Again, Mill is okay with the Prison Break, but I'm okay with just, like, you know, sacking a Smoldering Kitten, getting it back with Prison Break, trading a creature off, getting it back with Prison Break. We're just discarding something that we don't have Mayhem for and getting a Prison Break. So yeah, we've got like a lot of really good Mayhem enablers and payoffs here. We've got good removal. This deck, you know, hopefully can get across the finish line for some wins. Another thing, you know, I haven't been very crazy about with this format is 2 losses instead of 3 is a really big difference, right? You know, it seems very easy to sort of fall on the rougher end of variance and you know, have a deck that you're kind of excited to play and then just not get a lot of games in. Anyway, here I am yapping when we need to decide a last card to cut. And I'm really, to be frank, not so sure what it is. Maybe it's another one of these 5s, but I think the Goblins are good. The Envoy of the Bog almost feels necessary to me. It's just like one of our top end threats, and the same is true for this Dinosaur. You know, being a 5/4 and then being able to add 3/1 and be a Mayhem enabler is pretty good, I think. Do we have anything else that is not Mayhem related? Oh, you know, I guess we maybe can cut this Wardens, right? Like I said, it's a 3 mana 2/3 that, like, when it's tapped you get to rummage, but it's really hard to attack with a 3 mana 2/3. Huh. Okay, so I'm a little loath to cut another creature here because it feels like that takes our creature count like kind of on the low end, but I think that might just be our worst card. So I think we're going to go ahead and go with this. And let's see if we can get it done. All right, get matched pretty quickly with Tristan Jackson. All right. Okay, opponent goes first. All right, we need another couple of lands, but this hand is certainly reasonable. So House grows hungry, and then the next turn we can pitch this 4/3 and get it back with Mayhem, so that's pretty sweet. We are sort of in this spot where we need to draw both lands and Mayhem payoffs. We have a couple Mayhem enablers, and we just have, well, we have 3 Mayhem enablers and just the 1 payoff. That's okay, we draw another removal spell. So if we're not going to draw a land, something like Wisecrack, that's not super expensive, but is also a removal spell. Certainly not the worst thing to draw. Opponent opening with a blue-white Surveil land. I don't know about blue-white as a color combination. Okay, we got another land, which is cool. White-green seems very good. Okay, we're just running out Esper. All right, well, now we can't play the House Grows Hungry, so the fact that they haven't played a creature until turn 4 actually works out pretty well for them. Their first creature that they play is a 2/2, huh? So let's go ahead and sting that, I suppose. And next turn we're going to play the Brawlers. Yeah, so I guess we're just keeping the board clear. I mean, killing their thing that gets them back a treasure token is not necessarily like the best thing in the world, but otherwise we're not doing anything with our mana. And we have, what, 3 other removal spells in hand, so of course we didn't have the knife trick at the time, but so this thing is sorcery. It is another Mayhem enabler, but we have so much Mayhem enablers, we need some actual Mayhem payoff cards. All right, we're just gonna run out of 5/4. Oh, that's 2 mana discard this card. Okay, I don't know why it was 2 mana discard a card. Well, that's not nearly as good. This is the one that puts it on the owner's library. Okay, so that dinosaur is not nearly as good as I thought it was. That's something to keep in mind. Okay, so we can play House Grows Hungry. That's probably it, right? House Grows Hungry, kill their dude. Next turn, we can discard the String Puller and get that into play. I mean, it's going to be really easy to double spell here, right? Okay, so we're going to want to kill that with the Dark Flame Burst. All right, let's see what they do here. Okay, so we don't have double red, and that is unfortunate. Okay, we want to kill that while we can. So let's go ahead and discard the Death Flame Burst, not Dark Flame Burst. They opt to take 3. We kill their dude. Hopefully, they could have the +2/+0 trick, which would be very unfortunate. Oh, +1/+1 counter and hexproof. Okay, so we are in a bad way now because we don't have a way to deal with that. This knife trick is sorcery. It's very unfortunate. Oh, man. So drawing another red would have been preferred there, so we could have gotten a couple things. They're just going to get in there with one giant dude. They get to surveil a million. Yeah. So we're on a very quick clock here where they basically get to just sculpt their hand every turn. And it's hard to imagine us not just dying to this unless we draw the, was the Vampire's Caress is the other non-damage based removal spell we have. Man. So House Grows Hungry on the Tethics looking a little rough now that we know that they have this, man. Yeah, and them just getting to like look at their top 8 cards and decide what they want to see in the near future. That's pretty great. Oh, you know what? I forgot we have Wisecrack. Duh, Wisecrack will kill it. All right, and we drew another mountain. I guess we'll exile their graveyard. I didn't actually look to see what they surveilled away. Okay, so... So getting out the workforce just makes it so the string puller will ping them for 1. But we can't play the string puller and... Or wait, we could have... Yeah, we couldn't play the string puller and leave up Wisecrack. So this is the way we needed to do this. So assuming that we get away with Wisecracking this, I would like to do 2 damage to them by doing it while he's attacking, right? But having them surveil 8 doesn't seem worth doing 2 damage to them. So, okay. For some reason, I in my head, Wisecrack's red removal spell, I thought it was damage based. Okay, this that thing exiling their library was actually a huge game. Did not expect that to happen. So we can make this guy a 4/4, or we could run out a 4/3, and I think we just make this dude a 4/4, and then, you know, possibly we next turn we make it a 6/6 trampler, or we get in the business of like knife tricking and playing this string puller, depending on what they play. Another villain comes in, it gets +1/+1. Really? Yikes! That you're So that's a little rough to deal with. Oh, that doesn't get flying, right? Okay, I don't know why that gave flying. Okay, cool. It's because this thing flies. So we're gonna go ahead and chump, right? Because this is whenever it does damage. Draw a card for each modified creature you control. All right. So we can knife trick. Kill this. Auto pay. Discard the string puller. Play the string puller. Ping them for 1. We can double block. And they probably kill the workforce, but we keep the string puller. I guess that's the play. Keeping the workforce and continuing to grow it seems good, but we can't just take this and let them draw a card. You know, if they draw anything here, we're in pretty rough shape. Something that can't be blocked combined with an equipment that lets them draw a card when they hit me seems a little bad for the home team. When it deals combat damage, he connives. You switch this into a 3/3 flying menace. Okay. I feel like they just pass, yeah, and then they move their equipment next turn. So we're in pretty rough shape here. I guess I just play out my land in case this game goes long enough that we activate the galvanized workforce twice. Oh, and they get to surveil too. Jeez, this was a real big game out of them. So they're going to be able to hit me for 3 unblockable, draw a card, and connive. Ugh. That is tough when we're both living off the top of our library. I do get to attack with an 8/8 trampler next turn. If somehow them looking at 3 cards a turn, do they not get to order their triggers? So it would make sense to order it the other way around, right? Draw the card and then connive, so you have a better choice. I was gonna say them looking at 3 cards a turn probably outpaces me just having a slightly bigger creature. Okay, Prison Break. How good is that? Not that great, right? We play a 4/5. Okay. So even if I make this an 8/8, now I don't have great attacks because they can double block. Prison Break on its own is not very good though. All right. Next turn we attack with a 10/10 trampler, and then hopefully that's good enough to be scary. So what are they? They're tying up 4 mana a turn, moving their equipment back and forth. What does this even do? Artifact, creature, and or vehicle. Okay. So let's see. If we draw the caress, that lets us kill this thing. Excuse me. We might have a shot. They could pay 2 and remove their 2/1/1 counters to draw a card at this point. All right. Oh. Whoops, that's not what I meant to say. Oops. I didn't mean to say good game. I was just trying to click like a spaz. Although it is probably good game. This thing's now an 8/8. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Alright. We'll make the good game true. So felt like we had a chance there. Then they played that Angler's Shield, and that was a good card for them to have there. And we're both playing off the top, and then they just used to look at a 2 to 3 cards per turn instead of my 1. But alright, on to the next one. Let's see if we can win out. Do a little 4-0 run from there. Alright. Found our next opponent. They are dirty. Alright, so getting 2 lands, definitely need to find some more of those, but we do have, this seems like a good pairing, right? Like being able to pump this at instant speed and flash in a 2-mana 2/2, or 2/2 flyer rather, is what I mean to say. Alright, so we have pretty easy Cam and Havoc next turn, and then well, we have some choices. Mayheming in these. Oh, this has haste, doesn't it? Haha. Okay, so next turn, getting these lava-born goblins in there. Yeah, this seems good. Okay, so it's an island. Okay, cool. Oh, this doesn't let you discard. It's whenever you discard. I don't know why I keep thinking that. This thing also doesn't let you discard. It's also whenever you discard. So, like discarding this and then this getting +2/+0 and getting in for, what is that, 5/6 altogether seems great, right? But like, what if what if they just so happen to have a removal spell? They've got 3 mana up. That's a little scary. All right, I'm just gonna attack. Okay, the fact that priority just instant pass makes me feel like we were probably good to go there, but oh well. Decide to play it safe. If they tap out, okay, especially if they tap out for a tree trolley, now like discarding this and doing 6 might be the play. We'll see. We did draw land, which is good. We needed some more of those, but yeah. It's that or we don't do anything. But then again, this is just a 5/4 dinosaur menace, so maybe we want to hang on to it for that. Now they have priority because they have a food token. Yeah, I don't know. This is just like lava axing them. I'm really not sure if that's what we want to be doing. But we have enough other gas. We're not doing really anything else with our mana, so let's go ahead and do it. Now, if they kill this, I'm going to feel like a real idiot. But like I said, they passed priority last turn instantly, and now they have the food, which is why priority would be held, hopefully. Or they're about to blow me out. We'll see, one way or the other. We do have other action. I mean, we could have just played the Wektu, right? Like, you can just cast it. It doesn't have to be Mayhem. So we did have other things to do, but notably, we also can't play our Damning Caress if this thing dies. All right, cool. So that got through. I'd imagine they'll crack the food, so they'll go back up to 15. They've certainly developed their mana, so... Okay, I was just about to say, you know, it's not too hard to believe that they can do something scary here, but that's it. Okay, so we've got removal spells galore. I think our removal spell of choice, though, might just be flashing in Wekdu and blocking the Gallant Citizen. I mean, if they have a removal spell for Wekdu and then they have something to enweb the Gallant Citizen, then, you know, well done. But all right, it's looking like that might be the case, and they've got the enweb too. All right, well, that's unfortunate. That was a good one to enweb. All right, we hit another land, which is good. So I don't think I want to House Grows Hungry yet. I think I want to go ahead and get this dude on the board, and then we can House Grows Hungry next turn. Do we want to? So we can discard a card. Yeah, I think Crash is probably a good card for us. Unfortunately, we can't play 2 spells next turn. Okay, all right, that's the end of our Crobel. Not surprisingly. All right, there's their Gallant Citizen again. Okay. Okay, so they did put a counter on the Citizen that makes me think, you know, maybe they're not going to be in the market of enwebbing it back. You don't know for sure, though. We're going to go ahead and kill this dude. We'll get in there for 2. They can crack back probably for 4. You know, pretty good chance they play a big thing and their lizards grow. Oh, I guess not. Okay. Guess she probably wanted to play that pre-combat, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and discard the Death Flame Burst, and so we can Damning Caress and Death Flame Burst this turn to draw another land. But I think we want to go ahead and kill their stuff. Okay, good. I was like, wait a second, this is the villain. That's not the villain. That guy's Gallant. He can't be a villain. All right, awesome. And then we get to crash in for 4. All right, this is going kind of according to plan, right? Yeah, exile their library next turn, especially now that we see they've got Ozor in their deck. That means they could have a second one. Copy of a creature card in the graveyard. Huh. So he gets a 4/4 flyer out of that. Huh. Okay, let's exile their graveyard, I suppose. Oops. I guess we'll click them. Okay, so it looks like we can do some of this business. Okay, we can't discard this dude and get it in there, but that's okay. Wait. Oh, that's the beginning of your main phase, not your combat phase. Shoot. All right, should have sequenced that out a little bit differently. That's okay. Next turn, assuming they don't do anything, though. I thought this was at the beginning of combat. Okay. So next turn, Crash should hopefully be enough to get through our last bit of damage here. Yep, we will certainly discard a card. We'll make it so that can't block. That'll become a 4/3. We'll get in there and win. I guess we could have played the Goblins pre-combat and attacked with those two. That was definitely a little hasty of me, and I this set more than any, it just feels like there's so many cards that I feel like operate just a little bit differently than they really do. And then when I actually play them, I'm like, oh, it's main phase, not combat. That's okay. 1-1. Let's see if we can get a little momentum going here. All right, let's see. We are up against a Dauntless Jafter, who is also a beta player. So we're on the play. This is okay, right? Like if we get to turn 3, house their thing, and then the next turn we discard the goblins and get them into play, that's pretty good. It's a cool looking land. What does this one do? When you attack with 2 or more spiders, you put a 1/1 counter on it. If it deals 4 or more damage, you get to exile the top card and then do something. We don't really have to Scorpion Sting this right now, right? Let's see what they do. Yeah, I think we're okay to just let that in. All right. All right, yeah, I'm just going to keep the Scorpion Sting for now. We're going to kill the lizards? Yeah, we'll kill the lizards. Those could grow out of range of our burn spells. All right, suspect a creature, so that thing can no longer block, but it makes tokens every time it attacks. So we want to discard the, excuse me, yeah, we'll discard the goblins. They opted to take 3. So we're just gonna run this out. We're gonna get in there. All right, that takes them down to 12. That was a pretty big turn. We can, so I don't know about them making treasure tokens every turn, but knife trick at this point we'd have to discard something. That's why I was kind of going back and forth on if we wanted to discard this or not and play this turn, but I'm gonna let them make another treasure token, and the next turn, depending on what they do, this makes a 2/1. Spiders you control get +1/+1. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and exile their... Oh, I keep clicking the graveyard and not the player. So we can play both of these dudes, or we could play one of those dudes and Scorpion Sting. I feel like we want to go ahead and pull the trigger on killing the Rizna. Now, unfortunately, the spider stops me from attacking with Cam as things stand. So let's go ahead and do this. Oh, wow. So they could have something, right? Because they have 2 treasure tokens up. Should I have knife tricked instead and then kept up in Scorpion Sting if we needed to do something in response? Maybe. Seems like maybe they have a trick and they wanted to eat my Lavaborn goblins with their spider, and now they're deciding if they want to use the trick to save Rizna or not. I mean, they do kind of want this thing to live, right? Because they can attack with 2 or more spiders now. Aha. Okay. So yeah, they did have a trick. So we can knife trick and discard one of these and kill off Rizna. We're going to attack first. I don't think they block. And I think we kind of want to do that, right? Because we don't want them attacking with 2 spiders. So I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to knife trick. I'm going to discard Cam and aim to possibly Prism Break Cam back into play next turn if we draw a land, because then it would be a 2/3. That still only trades with the spider. That's if they don't attack with the spider, though. Ooh, the Infernus is going to be a 4/4. Okay. We get in for 5. All right, Wisecrack is a good draw. Now, do we trade the Lavaborn Gauntlets for the Infernus with Prison Break in hand? Probably not, right? Yeah, I think we just pass. We'll probably Wisecrack the Infernus, and if they just swing with everything, which they might do, just to try to force through damage. Okay. Alternatively, we could just block the Infernus and look to get our guy back with Prison Break. But no, I think we'll Wisecrack. The 2 damage from it attacking is actually kind of relevant. And making them sacrifice a land during combat is... If it happened to just strand a 6-drop in their hand, that would be pretty funny. All right, so are we happy to trade the Lavaborn Gauntlets away for... Goblins, I keep saying gauntlets. I think we're happy to trade that away for 2 creatures, especially since we're going to play the Brawlers. And... oh, wait, this isn't 2 creatures, it's just 1. Wait, no, it is 2. What am I saying? Math. Math is complicated. Okay, so I like the board state here, and now we can discard the Prison Break to the bars, get in for 4, and get a creature back for 1 less mana, or we could play the Galvanized Workforce. I think now we do this. And then we take the goblin. And then we attack. I was thinking about going for the value of like having workforce in play before playing, you know, paying prison break and getting the 1 extra damage. Ooh, can't talk right now for some reason. But getting the goblins back and attacking with them made a little more sense. All right. So with this format at 2 wins, they did initially the payouts were super scuffed, right? And I forget what 2 wins was. I think it was like 250 gems or something like that. It was insane. They changed it to 800, so now 800 gems back after paying 900 gems. Okay, that's fine. The old pay structure was actually ridiculous. So guaranteed 800 gems for the 900 gem investment. Hopefully we can move into winning record territory. All right, we are up against the Gatherer, who is mighty. How we doing here? So yeah, this card that wasn't nearly as good as I thought it was. This equipment, which we won't have any creatures to equip it to. And the house grows hungry. Certainly not the best starting hand. It might be a mulligan, maybe. Okay, drawing a mountain was certainly not the best outcome, but I'm hoping we can pick up a little bit of gas here. All right, String Puller is certainly qualifies, right? So now we get to House Grows Hungry, and then discard the String Puller to get that in there for 2. Definitely would have been nice to have like another creature in play so that we could discard these Stitcher's Wings and suit them up. We've not seen a single one of our Skittering Kittens yet, and this is now what, game 5, and I guess we did cut down to 2 of them. We can go ahead and just kill the Infernus here so they have to sack their newly found mountain. Wisecrack, not a bad draw. So yeah, no Skittering Kittens yet, and now I don't want them, right? Don't really want to draw them at this stage of the game. Okay, so yeah, looking to discard the String Puller and then cast that for its Mayhem cost. Oh! A String Puller of your own, huh? Very cool. That's actually great, because now we can play the Workforce as well. Which the String Puller does trigger. I was pretty sure that's how that worked, but I wasn't positive until I saw it happen. Alright, so that kills my Workhorse. That's unfortunate. So unless they have something... Ooh. Oh, wow. That's... What a big turn for them. Gross. And they get to crack in for 9? Ooh. Okay. Well... There's the Skittering Kitten. I don't want the Skittering Kitten now. Alright, so... I guess we just run out of 5/4. And we hope that they don't have removal. Or a way to level up their Lurking Lizards again. Because we really need to be able to block those. So worst case scenario is they have removal and we're dead. Best case scenario is... they just attack, and I don't think we even want to trade here because we don't have anything that can kill the lizards. I don't know. Because, like, Wisecrack can kill the String Puller, but not the lizards. Whoa! No attack? That seems wild to me. I also just accidentally hit spacebar, but that's okay. It's because we can play both of these, but I don't think we're attacking anyway. Yeah, not this turn. Okay. So we're going to play both of these. I'm really shocked to see no attack from the opponent. Because if they attack with the string puller, I'm sort of in a bad position where, like, I don't want to just take it and go to 4, but at the same time, I don't want to trade there when my dinosaur would be better off trading with the lizards. Okay, so this puts us in a situation now. Flying in haste. Okay, so we can sack the skittering kitten, get the wings, put the wings on the dino, and then we have a 7 power. They haven't done anything in 2 turns. They could just have a handful of land. Or if they, if they have a removal spell, this is obviously not great for me. They could have a wisecrack of their own, and they're holding it. Another land there was really not what I wanted to draw. But we're going to go ahead and go for this. This is a 2-turn clock, right? If they attack next turn and we get to wisecrack something, if they don't have a removal spell. This feels like they probably have a wisecrack of their own. No, they're taking 7. Okay, that's cool. 2 draw steps in a row of drawing swamp there wasn't exactly what we wanted, but I'll take it. And yeah, it feels like our opponent must be flooding out here for them to just not do anything all those turns. If they attack here, okay, no attack, so we don't quite have lethal, but all right, another mountain, also not the draw that we wanted. We're gonna go ahead and get in with the incubator though. Okay, them going to 2 with us having wisecrack in hand is huge. So I could have discarded, right, and given this menace and wisecracked one of their dudes and attacked for lethal. That goes poorly, obviously, if they have a removal spell. Maybe that was a little bit better because things still aren't great if they have a removal spell. Who knows? Okay, they kill my dude. We just get to move the equipment next turn. Okay, so they do have an attack. And then wisecrack. Unless they have a way to get rid of their own creature. I don't know what else they could have, because I find it really hard to believe they were just holding Deathflame Burst. They just... Okay. They just took 14 damage? Like, I don't know about that. So they had a shock as well. So yeah, I feel like the Deathflame Burst had to be one of the things that they... It had to be the card they just drew, because just taking 14 damage before killing my dude seems weird. But okay, that's... Alright, we're into winning territory, right? That's 3 wins. And now we... And now we're playing for the trophy. That feels so weird. So we lost round 1, right? Now we're on 3-game streak. At 1-1, I was like, oh, maybe we get something rolling. And now already we're going for... I guess it still counts as a trophy. I don't know. But... Oh, we are up against rank 726. So up against a mythic ranked player. Which being as... I am nowhere near mythic rank. Doesn't feel fair, but that's okay. We will give it our best go. So we've got a couple early interaction removal spells. We have a creature to get on the board and start smacking away for 1 whole damage. And now we have drawn 2 expensive spells instead of lands, which is a little unfortunate. I think that card is really neat. Okay, I guess we're just gonna get in there for... Do we lava axe them? No, I think I want to kill their... I want to kill their parched dude this turn. The lava axe definitely seemed tempting. Okay. Would you be shocked to find out? This guy should take extra damage from shock because he was just an island a couple seconds ago. Notably is sort of protected from sorcery speed removal, right? So if you can modify this dude, actually kind of has, that built-in sorcery speed removal protection. That's kind of nice. Now, it'd be great if they left up 3 mana for the counterspell. Oh, they do. I say that, but now I draw the land and I'm not so sure. Alright, so we're going to attack. No lava axe business. I'm just going to run out the equipment. Does not get automatically equipped because I did not mayhem it, but that is okay. Just having an equipment that gives haste is kind of sweet. 3/3 flyer A. Alright, so what... We actually don't have anything that gets value out of Menace here. Little unfortunate. I mean... Sweet House Grows Hungry does. I guess that's not entirely true, right? Because we will pump this by discarding a card, so that's something. We could also just take 3, right? We're at 20, the opponent's at 16, and we have the board advantage while they have the card advantage, so our life total is a resource for us. That is certainly going to get Damning Crest, and yeah, I think I'm just going to take 3 here. Alright, they agreed. So maybe we play Crash for now, and then Damning Crest next turn? Yeah. That seems to be the route I'd like to go. So they did take 3, which is cool. We'll exile their graveyard. Still stuck on lands over here. Okay, so they're going to kill our Crash. They're not going to put a +1 counter on Tethix, nor a +1/+1 counter on Tethix. All right. So, I didn't think about it, but Damning Caressing the Tethix actually would have been smarter, right? Because this House Grows Hungry would have gotten rid of the Tethix as well. Darn. Okay. But since we didn't do that, I'm going to let the Tethix live another turn. I'm going to suit this dude up. And 3, 5, so we can get him for 8. We're just gonna hit there and then be ready to Serpent Sting their dude. Does this get toughness? No, just power when you discard. So whatever they play here, I'm kind of prepared to Serpent Sting it. I'm assuming next turn I'm gonna want to Damning Crest this Tethix. But if they play something that we can Serpent Sting and then we can Damning Caress on our turn, we are in business. They do have 5 mana though, so of course they could just play a giant thing. Or they could Surveil? No. Okay, that's perfect. That is precisely what I wanted you to do. They have priority, huh? I don't know what 1 blue does. Oh, there's the rare. There's a rare that counters an instant or sorcery, right? Oh, this is so good. So we get to Damning Caress the Tethix. Tapper didn't do anything silly, right? Yeah, we Damning Caress the Tethix. 3, so that's 5, 8. Ah, they did have, it in web. Did that make sense to unweb it? Oh, because they had to unweb it. Right. Okay, I see. We are going to go ahead and get in there for tons. I wanted to do that while they're tapped out. Obviously, like, the surprise factor, like, I could have hit them for 3. Right now, this opens them up to they know this is a lethal threat. So, like, yeah, so they're going to play this dude out. And maybe they wouldn't have done that. Maybe they probably would have killed my dude, though. Okay, so we get to go land. Unfortunately, we don't have a card to discard, but doing this makes it so they have to chump. So they have to chump, and they have to have another flyer or removal spell, or they're dead. So we're still in pretty good shape. Although this does give flying. So they would need extra lands to be able to Tethix and put the 1/1 counter in flying, and it's just gets flying until end of turn. All right. Okay, so they had another removal spell. Knife Trick isn't going to do it. If we drew a creature there, they were dead. Now they get the Tethix online, probably. Okay, this is activates only as a sorcery. So, even if they had access to 7 mana. Okay, that's not a creature. So 2 draw steps there, where if we drew a creature, they were dead. If they use this, then it's a 2-turn clock. So if we go 3 draw steps without drawing a creature, we'll be in trouble. So I feel like had we not pulled the trigger on the Lava Axe the turn we did. Oh, wow. And lifelink. Okay. How unfortunate. All right. So we are going to pay the full amount here, kill this, and just hope that they don't put the counter on Tethix. I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine that they don't. Kind of hard to imagine that they don't just go for it. If they just go for it, we're dead. Really unfortunate, you know, 3 draw steps in a row of not drawing a creature. I was reflecting back to the turn that we Lava Axed. Oh, wow, now they don't even have to pull the trigger there. And, yeah, I think if we waited another turn and we just attacked for 3, they'd probably kill my dude anyway. Same result. Real shame the deck didn't cooperate there, so they had to have a couple removal spells in a row, and we had to brick 3 draw steps in a row of not drawing a creature. Ah, well. Overall, not a bad showing, right? 3 and 2, so get a couple extra gems and a couple of packs. All in all, I don't think I'm crazy about this pick 2 format. Like, yeah, it's novel. Being able to draw or draft 2 cards at a time is pretty cool. It definitely feels like lanes get way more open. I mean, there's only 4 players too, which helps. So like this particular draft, I feel like red was wide open. Excuse me. And you can sort of solidify that more easily. Just based on, again, very limited in the number of events I've played so far. It just feels like white, and in particular green-white, is being drafted very heavily, which makes sense because it feels very strong, which then does leave you know, the Grixis colors more open, but I think they're sort of substantially weaker than their green-white counterparts. This deck felt pretty cool, felt pretty strong. Feels like I had a good mix of Mayhem enablers and Mayhem payoffs. Inherently, though, you do need your draw needs to work out right if you want that sort of thing to work, though, of course, which, you know, for example, never having Skittering Kittens in my opening hand was a little awkward in so what did we play? 5 games, right? 3-2 final score. So yeah, 5 games, no Skittering Kittens, only drawing 1 later was like kind of weird. Because like the dream is to play like Skittering Kittens turn 1, and then like you get to turn 2 out the Sadistic String Puller, or turn 3 the Lavaborn Goblins, and that just didn't happen. Maybe I could have waited 1 more turn on discarding the what is it, this guy? This card also, again, like I said, not nearly as good as I thought it was. It did pair pretty well with Cam and Ferric, but you are sort of going all in, right? And if they have a removal spell, not so great. But yeah, I don't think there was anything I could have really brought in for that. I mean, maybe this 2/3 spider, but I just don't think that card's very good. Anyway, I don't know how much more of the pick 4 drafts I'll do. It is nice. They're quick. It's something different. But I think I want to play some standard Premier drafts in this format, and just, you know, get more matches in will be cool. Anyway, till the next time.